Turning to our coverage in the coronavirus pandemic, an active day in our state capitol as lawmakers continue to hash out details of how to safely reopen Texas.
This comes as the number of COVID-19 cases continues to go up across the board. Taking a look at the dashboard really quick, there are more than 39,000 confirmed cases statewide with 1,100 deaths.
Governor Greg Abbott is joining us now live from Austin to answer some of our questions. Governor, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to get right to it. What help is the state providing to nursing homes and assisted living facilities to make sure that all residents and staff are tested as per your recent order?
Sure. So I issued that order yesterday, ensuring that all nursing homes in Texas will be tested. We want every resident as well as every staff member at these nursing homes tested. Two reasons for that. One is obviously the people in nursing homes represent our most vulnerable populations, most likely inclined if they contract COVID-19 to be a fatality from it. So we want to reduce those fatalities, but also we want to find out who is positive, who is negative, separate the two, and treat those who are positive, keep those who are negative safe, but also prevent the importing of COVID-19 into our nursing home facilities. By doing this, we're going to be doing the most to move the needle, both in reducing cases and reducing deaths in Texas. The ability to do this is hinged in part to a national initiative to achieve this result. Now, we've already received an increase in the test collection supplies as well as the testing supplies that are needed to make sure we are able to execute this plan.
Governor Abbott, according to data obtained by NBC from the White House Pandemic Task Force, coronavirus infection rates are spiking to a new high. Fort Bend County has actually been placed on a locations to watch list because they have recorded an increase in number of cases by 64.8%. Given the surge in cases, is there concern about repealing restrictions prematurely, perhaps? And will you place any emphasis at looking at the numbers in that area?
So understand this. Let's take Harris County, for example. Well, in the state of Texas first. The state of Texas has a growth rate of 3%, which is considered to be a very low growth rate. Harris County has a growth rate of 2%. I didn't look at Fort Bend County right before I came into here, but here's what I do know. And that is there are certain locations in the state of Texas where you see an increase in a particular county. Almost always, whenever I see that increase in a county, it relates to one of three conditions. One is a nursing home, two is a jail, three is a meat packing facility or meat processing facility. Here's the deal. None of those three relate whatsoever to opening up business. All of those were situations that occurred both before we opened up business and don't relate in any way to the opening up of commerce. Hence, we have surge teams that go into counties that help address those three areas to curtail the spread of the coronavirus, ensuring that we can reduce the people testing positive while at the very same time open Texas up for business.
Governor, our economy's been reopening in phases. Gyms and exercise facilities are set to reopen on Monday. Bars are not included on that list. You've got local bar owners here in Houston-Harris County saying they're going to go bankrupt if they can't open for business. So that being said, when will bars be allowed to open here in Texas and under what restrictions?
Well, listen, we're very concerned about the financial condition of bar owners as well as the employees who have been working there and their need to earn an income so they can put food on the table and pay their rent and things like that. And so we have been working aggressively both with the industry as well as with the doctors advising us about the best practices. But you probably have seen and maybe have reported on what happened in South Korea the last couple of days, where this past weekend they opened up some bars and that led to an increase in the spread of the coronavirus. And it shows how contagious the coronavirus is in the bar setting. And so we have to create standards where we will find a way to open up bars, but do so in a way that contains the spread of the coronavirus.
Yeah, and I know you talked about that last week, telling bar owners in the state of Texas that they have to come up with a strategy to safely reopen. What does that strategy look like to you?
Well, they actually provided us some information earlier this week that we shared with our doctors to try to come up with some possibilities of opening up. And let me give you some ideas, and that is, as you know, the way bars typically work, you have a whole lot of people congregating together. It could be around a bar or some other type of setting, so close it could lead to easy transmission. Obviously, if you're drinking something at a bar, you can't be having a mask on. So what we're trying to do with bars is to replicate the type of setting that we have with restaurants, and that is where you have people with a minimum number sitting in a table, separated distance-wise from others. We've seen the practice work very effective in our restaurants. If something like that can be replicated in bars, there could be a pathway toward opening them up.
All right, Governor, also, the Galveston County judge has asked you to freeze property values there at the 2019 values. Will you do that, and would you consider doing the same for other Texas counties since so many taxpayers are currently without jobs right now?
So understand this, and that is freezing the valuation of a property does not establish how much a property owner is taxed. What establishes how much a property owner is taxed is the tax rate imposed by a county. Someone's valuation, it could go up or it could go down. The property owner should be able to benefit from whether it goes up or go down. The property owner can benefit from lower taxes only by one thing happening, and that is by the taxing jurisdictions reducing the tax rate so that the property tax owner has to pay less. The only jurisdictions who have the power to reduce the property tax rate are the local taxing jurisdictions.
All right, Governor, I want to switch topics here and talk about storm preparation as we head into hurricane season. Here in the greater Houston area, we're expecting the possibility of some very heavy rainfall this coming weekend. How is the state better prepared for a big storm after Harvey and Imelda?
Well, we had the benefit in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey to have this statewide commission on hurricane preparedness that was led by Chancellor John Sharp at Texas A&M come up with a game plan to make sure that we are better prepared going forward. And know this, even while we've been working on this pandemic, the Texas Division of Emergency Management has been undergoing preparations statewide, but especially in the coastal region, to make sure that we are going to be prepared for the upcoming hurricane season.
And Governor, what actions is the state taking regarding evacuations and shelters in light of this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, you talk about evacuation and shelters as it would concern a hurricane?
Sure, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for evacuations concerning hurricanes, those are issues that are determined by the local jurisdictions, especially the county judges, and we allow them to make those evacuation decisions. That said, there is discussion going on, understanding that if there are evacuations where, let's say, like in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, you had all these people going into the George R. Brown Convention Center, that would put a whole lot of people in close proximity to each other in ways that could spread the coronavirus. And so other strategies are being considered, such as some of these vacant hotel rooms that will provide isolation capabilities to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, while at the same time giving people a place to stay in the event that a hurricane required them to do so.